During the 1700s, sailors embraced the art of tattooing as a way to express their history while traveling the seas. The symbolism of these markings upon sailors' bodies showed just what these people had overcome. The idea of the tattoo did not originate from maritime history, but through maritime travels, the idea was able to be spread. Captivated by the appearance of the tattoos printed on indigenous people, sailors brought back human specimens so that they may share the idea of the tattoo to European cities, especially port cities. The spread of the idea of the tattoo caught interest of the wealthy travelers, sailors, and even criminals. As the trend progressed, sailors would get tattoos that meant something symbolic to them. A swallow could represent a safe journey back to land and the distance they had traveled. Certain landmarks also had a tattoo to go along with it. For example, a turtle could mean that the sailor had been to the equator. In some cases, tattooing was also used to symbolize marital status. The tattoo told the history of the sailors, and the symbolic stories were important to maritime culture and allowed sailors to express themselves in a manner that was easily recognizable and respected by their fellow peers, and designated the many perils, hopes, and accomplishments that they had made while at sea. The art of tattooing techniques has evolved over the centuries. However, the methodology remains basically the same. A small puncture is made in the skin and color is rubbed into the hole. The substances used to create the tattoo vary according to the culture that is doing the tattooing. Inuit Indians used soot for their ink, while other cultures used smoke or an oily nut to create the permanent design in the punctured skin. The tattooing instruments used today are much more refined and utilize a handheld needle gun that injects dye into the skin 3,000 times per minute. Modernization of tattoo equipment has increased the motivation of an individual's desire to be tattooed. 15% of American adults are tattooed, and the number increases to 28% for American adults younger than the age 25. We use tattoos in modern times much the same way that they were used in maritime history. Researchers have found that people use tattoos much like the sailors, to express who they are, what they have lived through, and how they see themselves in relation to others and to their social worlds. What differs between the use of tattoos in maritime history and modern times is that men and women of various age groups and social economic backgrounds choose to get tattoos. There are no constraints as to who gets tattoos. There are no boundaries to who wears the intricate personal expression that is permanently inked upon a person's body. Tattooing has made its way from ancient times to today's world through maritime travels that globalize diverse cultures. It is through the globalization of these diverse cultures that the knowledge of tattoos proliferated and grew into the cultural practices of today's world. Tattoos are not a trend that is going away anytime soon. Modern uses of the tattoo are considered works of art and revered for their beauty. Some cultures still use tattooing as a sign of beauty and high status. They are also used as a unifier of communities or small, intimate groups of people. In Japan, modern tattooists are creating a repertoire of artistic designs that are developed by highly trained artisans and even placed on display. These creations are considered works of art and are highly sought after. Modern tattoo has a varied history that is cross-cultural. It owes its popularity to those sailors who risked their lives on the open sea to globalize and expose the beauty of this form of art for centuries of people who adorn their bodies with tattoos of every shape, color, and size. Maritime history spread this universal cultural experience and has unified the human race through the art of tattooing.